Well, we are live. We are live. We are live. Thanks for people popping in. I see people popping in. It is a Saturday night, date night with me and the wife. So we're going to just get to it. The best stock of the week, the worst stock of the week, and the opportunity of a week as well. So we're going to go over those three, how we can scale our finances, transform, and make some painless profits. So we're going to go over the best stock, the worst stock, and the opportunity of a week. Before we get started, as always, though, like, subscribe, share on all platforms. In real life, I'm a certified financial planner, and we manage over $250 million in assets. But on these social media streets, we're just giving information. So do your research, and past performance does not guarantee future results. But y'all ready to get into these stocks? Lego. So Pony AI. Pony up, y'all. Pony up. Pony AI was up by almost 40% this week. Now, the stock market as a whole, stock market went down. S&P 500 went down almost 1%. The NASDAQ went down 1.5%. And the Russell 2000, the small cap and mid cap stocks, that went down by 2.5%. So it's fears that all the euphoria, all the happiness, all the Trump's gonna change the world. Well, it's starting to lose its luster because the tariff talk, it ain't hitting like it was a few months ago. And reality is that people are dissecting his policies, looking at what happened last time he was in office when he left, how tariffs hurt us from an inflation standpoint, how taxes went up after his tax cuts. So people just kind of getting sketchy. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but people, they're kind of giving some side eyes to what President Trump got going on. But the stock of the week that just did amazing is Pony AI. So you're thinking, who is Pony AI? Is that like the SMU Mustangs? What is Pony AI? I never heard of them. And most people have not heard of them, even though they are a $8 billion with a B dollar company. So they're not a small little penny stock, no little kind of tech stock that popped up out of nowhere. They have over an $8 billion market cap, which means the value of their company in totality is over $8 billion, right? So that's their market cap. Well, what do? Well, they develop and commercialize autonomous driving. And guess what went down this week? Good old Tesla went down by almost 5%. This is not a competitor against Tesla, but they are trying to find a way to make autonomous driving, hands off the wheel, and I'm still driving. Now, I have a Tesla. When I first got my Tesla now 5 years ago, it was kind of nerve-wracking the first couple of times I did it, especially on a highway. Like, are you gonna stop? You gonna, Black Rob, switch it in the lanes. So switch it in and out of lanes like whoa. And it was whoa while it puts on a blinker and switches one way and puts on a blinker and switches another way. That was kind of weird, but you gotta get used to it. Now it's crazy. After having my Tesla for basically 5 years, I don't even use autonomous driving anymore. I just kind of just drive myself. But when you first get it, it's kind of like a toy. I got a Tesla. I got to use it. Well, Pony AI is trying to revolutionize autonomous driving where we can all drive and not have our hands on the steering wheel, right? They are trying to create a centralized network. So they are not competing with Tesla. They are trying to be aided with Tesla to have a whole network of vehicles, right? Kind of like what we see in sci-fi movies. And we know movies give us a blink into the future. So what they are doing is trying to find a way to have a network of a lot of cars on the same system to autonomous drive. But why they popped up is because they solidified a deal with none other than NVIDIA. Yes, NVIDIA, the stock of the decade so far, the stock that will continue to go up because they have a stranglehold on chips and the selling of those chips and the servers who needs those chips. It's all NVIDIA, right? We saw SoundHound go up like crazy this time last year after they had a partnership with NVIDIA, bought 49% of SoundHound. So as soon as that announcement was made, guess what happened? Investors, the rich, the wealthy, the elite, the people that drive the market said, this is a game changer, and they boom put their foot on the throttle, so to speak, and up and away went Pony AI. So should we continue to look into this from an investment standpoint? Well, you got to do your own research, right? Going up by 38%, it is contrarian when the market trended down this week and it went up. So will it go up another week? We don't know. Nobody knows but God the future. And it's a rather new company as well, right? It's not like it's been public for years and years. It's been public literally since November. So we have only 3 months of data. So the rule of thumb is that you want to wait after a company IPOs 6 months, a year, sometimes 18 months to buy it. But it might skyrocket after that, right? It hit the market at close to $13 a share. Now it's at $23 a share. So it is close to doubling since it came out and hit the market. So do your research, but Pony AI are stock of the week. So Pony AI, the growth stock from a gain standpoint, the biggest. But then we have the biggest, but we turn around and have the worst. Oh, the worst, the worst, the worst. And you know, it's a person on all these platforms that about 3 years ago called this company the next JP Morgan. Now, they don't talk about it no more, and we ain't throwing no shade on nobody, but you know, just Google who said this company was the next JP Morgan. And they were wrong with a capital W. Now, they've been right with some other investments, so you cannot hold that against them. But it just goes to show even the greatest investors, the master investors, the persons or people that know it all and have all the gains still lose, right? Warren Buffett, you know, his fund gets it right 70% of the time, but he is known as the world's greatest investor. Anyways, though, but we're talking about Block, formerly known as Square. And we all use it on a day-to-day basis. Cash App, Afterpay, Tidal, if you still play music on Tidal. I don't know. I know Jay-Z, he got the bag. Plugged Tidal, then sold it to Square, which is now Block. And boom, he's off to the next. So that is a lesson learned from Jay-Z. We could learn a lot of lessons from his business acumen. But you want to talk about sell high? Man, he sold Tidal at this high because nobody would talk about using Tidal no more at all. And the market share is down as well because of Apple Music and also, of course, Amazon Music. But back to Block. Their stock went down by 18% this week. You guys know why? As I talked about earlier this week, we have the Doge dividends. And the biggest competitor from a electronic payment space for Cash App is not Venmo, it's PayPal. And PayPal CEO is nice friends with Trump, his 4th biggest donor in his campaign, and quasi best friends with Elon Musk because they, of course, you know, started PayPal together, right? You know, Elon Musk, it was PayPal first, right? So with the Doge dividends, PayPal was trying to sliver its way in. And what PayPal wants to do, PayPal wants to actually have it where those Doge dividends that get sent out, if they do, right? Those refunds, getting money back comes into place. They're the ones that actually sends it out from an electronic standpoint because paper checks, mail, stamps cost money. If they could just send it electronically and take care of the 1099s, it's going to save so much money for the federal government. So when the news broke that PayPal was trying to, well, the news didn't break, but you know, if you know, you know, right? Is that old saying? Eclipse, if you know, you know. So the big banks, rich, wealthy, and elite took shorts into Block and sold positions in Blocks, thinking that if this happens with the Doge dividends, PayPal stock is going to explode. So the competition is going to implode or go down. So Block down by 18%. Now, Block, they've been spiraling. I mean, you think about where they were in the year 2021 before the crash of 2022. Their stock literally went down by 85% from the peak of 2021 to the low in 2022. That means if you had $100 in Square or now Block, you went from $100 to $15. Oh, that is a painful profit if you made one. The Painless profit is buying it though when it was at $40 a share because today it's at $68. So in 2 years, you buy it in 2022. With 2.5 years, you almost double your money. That's a Painless profit. You buy when everybody else is selling. But it being down by 18%, not good. But it was as high as $90. So over the past 3 months, it's went from $90 to almost $68 a share. So it's down by about 40%. But this week down by 18. Is it a buy? Now, I do not think it's going to get back to $250 a share anytime soon, like it was at its peak of 2021. I mean, look what they did. They didn't change their name. There was Block, and now they're Square. Then they changed their stock symbol. Now it's XYZ when it was BLOK before. So they're doing a lot of things to rebrand themselves. So psychologically, as an investor, you're like, oh, that's not that company I invested in a few years ago that tanked my portfolio, right? But psychologically, it's not working. Well, it is working if you bought it at $60. I'm sorry, $40 a share. So it is working, but it's not working to the rich, elite, the money makers of the world who drive the stock market because they don't believe what Square has going on, even though Cash App from Square is the most used electronic payment process on a daily basis. Out of everything else, Venmo, PayPal, Western Union, Apple Pay, more people use Cash App daily than anybody else. Excuse my French, if I could talk. So they got transactions, but they're not making money. Give me my money. They're not making money. So they're down by 18%. Is it a good buy? Well, today being at $70 a share, basically, if it gets back to where it was a few months ago from 70 to 90, that's a 25% gain. Takes the stock market 2.5 years to make 25%. You make it in, let's say, 1 year. That's a good buying opportunity. If it gets back to $250 a share, that is a 4x, 400% return from today to where it was in 2021. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. Who knows? Nobody knows regarding the future, and past performance does not guarantee future results. However, if Trump is pump faking and they don't send out that money, right? And everybody who got out the market did those shorts, and the big banks sold their shares of Block, or now Block. This used to be Square, right? I get confused, man. It's been Square for so long. Now it's Block. But if they buy it back after they sold it at a high price, you might see that thing shoot up. So that is the stock drop of the week, but it might be an opportunity. But talking about an opportunity, the opportunity of the week is Hims and Hers Labs. Now, you see the commercial, or you might not see the commercial. Hims and Hers. So what is Hims and Hers? What do they do? What does Hims and Hers do? And why we think it is the opportunity of the week. They do healthcare services for men and women, but you don't got to go to the doctor's office. It's all virtual, and half of it, you don't even talk to a physician. You just talk to a virtual doctor. He or she prescribes medications for you for hair loss, mental health. They have things from a erectile disorder standpoint, like Pfizer and Viagra. A lot of prescriptions you can get without having to go to the doctor, and it come into the comfort of your home, right? So great idea. And the stock's been rolling. And it's a $9 billion company. So this is not like a little company. Well, my friends, we got this little old company that used to be a bookstore that turned online, and their CEO had a transformation, and now he's the CEO of a newspaper company and a team called the Washington Commanders, and they have automation at a chokehold, and that company is Amazon. And Amazon has announced that they will grow their online healthcare business. So before, Amazon just did a couple prescriptions here or there. They made an announcement that they are going to go full-fledged, and they are getting into the business of healthcare through Amazon. So who does that hurt? That hurts Hims and Hers. And that's why their stock went down by 18%. This is a crucial point with hims and hers. The reason why I say it's opportunity, because when announcements are made, those plans can always be scrapped. You remember the conversation about a year and a half ago where Apple was going to make their own electronic car, right? And Tesla stock went down because of it. And 6 months went by, then a year went by, and it's like a small press release. They scrapped that idea. Amazon has had their robot. Do you remember? I remember like just say, I told my wife 3 years ago when I saw the commercial, we're gonna get an Amazon robot. She was like, I don't want a robot. 6 months later, they scrapped that. Press releases, commercials, but then you didn't even see the robot no more. Press release, small verbiage, they scrapped that. So just because they made an announcement does not mean that it is going to come to fruition. It may not. But as an opportunity standpoint, not all your money, don't YOLO, right? We tiptoe into any investment. But it being down by almost 20% might give us an opportunity to buy today and hold and see what happens. If it just gets back to where it was, that's a 25% gain. Down 18 equals 25 on the way up. I mean, who says no to that? So hims and hers, him, her, not his, but hers, might be an investment to look forward to. And that's why I say it's the opportunity of the week. Now, going against Amazon, get rolled over, not roll with it. So it might be some selling the company involved too if Amazon gets rocking and rolling. But if Amazon scraps it like other large companies has had ideas and scrapped in the past, this thing is going to shoot back up, in my opinion. If it does, you're able to make some profits. In that case, some painless profits because we did not have that stock when it went down. So our up and away stock, Pony, AI, going down, baby, stock, Block, XYZ, or Square. And then hims and hers are opportunity of the week. But let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, share to our channel as we continue to grow. Join us on this journey in real life. Again, I'm a certified financial planner. In these social media streets, I just give information, and past performance does not guarantee future results. As always, though, let's make some painful or painless profits together, y'all. Peace.